She still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Zhang Weili is furious.
She's upset. But 100%. 100%.
Pay-per-view recap. Hey, we don't got a lot of more of those left, kid. I got to say it while I can. We got, 4 more? Next one in October. We'll welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of Axe Kick Picks, episode 191. Today is Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Kid, up early to watch those fights, huh?
You know, the grind never stops, my
Never.
brother. No,
Never.
you know, we had it early. Committed, not addicted, a little addicted. But what are you going to call the events if they're not pay-per-views anymore? Just like, you know, WWE's calls PLEs, right?
PLE, yes. PLE.
So is that what it'll be since they're all on the TKO mantle? And there's
doesn't
no
have the same.
It's still got to be a UFC pay-per-view, even though you're not paying per view.
Post pay-per-view. Post
Call
PLE.
it.
It doesn't have the ring, kid. It
Yeah.
just doesn't. What was your favorite fight this morning? Who's the guy with the fucking face tat?
Oh, Aaron Tao. That's the best fight, I think. I mean, there was a couple good ones, but damn, they kind of went life and death there early morning, bro. So yeah, Aaron Tao, real Maori.
They packed crowd. The crowd was loud though.
The Chinese crowd is going to be ready for Shanghai for the real UFC card. Like, and I think a couple of those fights, I think Namjar Gao's fight counted towards his UFC record, and then unfortunately our girl Shi Ming, she lost to Fighting Nerds. They're on a roll. Bruno Brazil.
They are.
They both had that fight count towards their UFC record.
It was crazy. Did you see yesterday, 3 years to the date, Fabian Edwards head kick Dalton Rasta yesterday? I honestly forgot PFL was going on. Thank you, Don Davis.
Yeah, Thursday night. Like, you know, not like we could have put it on primetime Friday, you know, or even knowing the UFC's early on a Saturday
afternoon
or night. What are we doing here?
It's you know what it's promotional malpractice,
100%. And on top of that, I get it, she's your star, but it's kind of tasteless to go and show her after that knockout loss, right? Dakota Ditcheva.
Oh, I actually loved it. She's the face of PFL. I get it, but you know, you show her walking in with her boyfriend, right? Cool. They make an appearance, they're matching. Oh, whatever. Cool. My thing is, I need that same energy now. They need to show her.
Yeah, as we talked about, you know, thrill of victory. The other side is the agony of defeat, and that's what that was. So I guess you know, transparency, kind of from the PFL, it is king there.
What's going on with our boy Carl Williams? I mean, he did not look good.
No. I mean, the Charlotte card might have been his
demise.
His height, though. I mean, you know, he had good performance there, but that was going on 3 years ago now. So
yeah. But overall, did you bet anything on PFL champions?
I had predicted the main card exact. Verdict will reflect that, but I just, you know, Thursday night cards. How could I get picks out on the show?
Yeah.
We cover in the Dana White Contender Series now on Tuesday. At least we can get them towards the end of our show. It's hard to fit in something that's going to be on a Thursday night. And also, the odds aren't even dropping. Like we're arguing that these Dana White Contender Series odds, we know about most events 2 weeks in advance. How come when the matchups are set, we can't get the odds out a week in advance, even for the Dana White Contender Series, but especially other promotions like PFL?
When do they usually come out? The night before, the day before, or something like that?
Something that's way too close to actually want to kind of do your homework on and then place a bet, and the market's already going to, you know, sway one way or the other.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah.
I imagine the lines move very quick.
Yeah, but that I would say more towards the Dana White Contender Series, as he did say, as cliche as it may be, nobody should be like a 2-1, even 2-1 favorite. And you see guys skyrocketing even upward. And you might see someone on this Shanghai card that, you know, you may want to have pause and concern for being a heavy favorite.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, kid. We had fights this morning, last night as well. But we have to recap UFC 18. All hail Khamzat Chimaev. We have a new middleweight champion. I mean, the UAE has one, kid. I mean, he is, and I want to get it right out of the gate. If you think you're a casual fan, if you think that was a boring fight, I'm sorry.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to. If you think dominating another human being for 25,
a champion at that with 3 title defenses
is boring, then I think Demetrius Johnson on his YouTube said it the best. Then you shouldn't be watching the UFC. Then go watch Power Slap. Go watch other shit because this is not your sport. Khamzat Chimaev is undoubtedly the best middleweight in the world, and he imposed his will against DDP. Credit DDP, very tough, hung in there. But when you're getting a crucifix multiple times in a round amongst 5 rounds, I thought to a point he was kind of taking it easy on him. Didn't
I mean, he kind of like, not to say fetal, but he resorted to safe positions. Where was that 5th round the rest of the fight? You know, I get it. Khamzat was a little more tired during that, but it's just a simple double. Like, you cannot stop. Like, he seems inevitable, right? I think the frustration with people and why they say it was boring is because of the star power of Khamzat Chimaev and the finishing capabilities. We see and expect him to just wipe the floor with guys, but that's not always going to be the case. At the highest levels, it tends to kind of even out. You will see more fights get to the judges' scorecards with how defensively minded these fighters are, with everything that they've been exposed throughout their career. We're talking at the top of the heap. That's why things kind of start leveling out a little bit. But it was just an absolutely dominant performance. Like, you haven't seen shades of that type of like dominance since Khabib, man. Like,
yeah.
And I think
as a challenger as well.
Yeah, as a challenger as well. Like, you look at, I guess as well, we're talking about people saying was born, like Khabib when he was taken down, his ground and pound was vicious. I think you do, like you said, give credit to DDP a little bit. When he even was in crucifix, he did the right like defensive thing, tucking his head into like the armpit just to not absorb as much damage as you can while you're being dominated in a crucifix, you know? So I feel like they both did the best with what they offered, and that's sometimes what happens in a fight. You take what the opponent gives you. Just Khamzat wasn't giving DDP anything.
Real quick though, on
very
that,
selfish.
Real quick on that, yeah, because I was watching it with Ant, and he was trying to hit basic wrestling moves that we learned in middle school, switches, stand up. That's not gonna work. I'm sorry. Yeah, you might be doing the right thing, but that's not gonna. That's not.
But I don't
work.
think DDP, right? I don't think his hips are necessarily that good. I think we were arguing about that through the chat, and you see him not pulling his feet away. As hilarious it was to see Paulo Costa at the aerial interview.
Oh my god!
I'll just get a knee. I'm just gonna get my feet out like that. As simple as it sounds, it's not easy when a dude's just sucking your legs in and then taking you down and blast doubling you. I've been listening to Good Guy and Bad Guy a lot. DC's on a tear right now, living his best life, and it's just that he's just coming in and he's knocking dudes over with that double. And it seems so simple to defend, but if you know it's coming, you can't stop it. It's just going to keep going back to it. It's like run the ball. You know, we're going to run the ball down your throat. You can't stop it. You know,
that's what's kind of demoralizing when you know what's going to happen and you still can't stop it.
Totally.
So I want to know for you, though, or just in general, first of all, the cardio for Khamzat Chimaev should never be in question again. Never. No. I mean, the last 15 to 20 seconds where you're like, okay, they stood him up. I'll get your thoughts on that, but I don't want to hear anything about a cardio again. Thoughts on, I think it was Mark Goddard. I think he reffed the main event. What did you think about, because you heard Joe Rogan say, I don't like it. And I kind of agree. In a street fight, no one's going to stand you up and bang, because if DDP wound up knocking him out, I would have felt really bad for Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, right. You know, you get worked to those dominant positions and you're going to punish someone for getting there. It's your job as the other fighter to get out of that and not let the opponent kind of do what they want with you. So, yeah, I think Mark Goddard did the right thing throughout the majority of the fight. And then also I'm going to also back him at the end there. I think when the least amount of damage was incoming and least dominant position was there and it was stalling a little bit, he picked him up. I see that. I think if you look at most of the exchanges, it was either DDP getting dominated and you can't reward him for getting dominated. You can't, punish Khamzat for getting those positions. But when the action lacked and we were, in the championship rounds, I think the ref has a right. He's human too, to react towards the crowd and also think about the entertainment value of the fight. It's also their job to do a little of that, but also protect the fighters. So you see more of it in other promotions. Like they don't issue yellow or red cards or any of that, but that's out there that they, stalling and stuff like that's frowned on. And if you can get a ref to not be involved as much, but to kind of, entice the action, I think it's better for the sport. But you can't punish someone for achieving.
Yeah, no, I agree. You got to work towards something. If you're stalling, yes, I agree. Stand them up. You got to be working towards something. So I do agree on that point. How did you score the fight? Because I think there were like 2 to 3 10-8 rounds, if I'm being honest.
I could see, you could say that. I want to be like the first round, you get the shock of it, right? That he achieves that position so early and all the shots and mounting. I think he had more the strikes in that round, the first round, than any of the others, right? It did amount to the most strikes in UFC history, breaking Max Holloway's record, by the way.
Yes.
But where was I going with this?
The scorecards. How would you?
10-8 only in the first round for me. I
Really?
do think it was 10-9 for the rest of the rounds, but it was, it was just the repetitiveness of it. Maybe he had taken his back, it's showing something else in a sense. Maybe you could say, okay, well, he dominated another fashion in the second round. Let's give him another 10-8. Oh, he was now dominating on the feet. Let's give him a 10-8 here. He took him down extra amount it was just the same thing each round. So I think the judges, you get a little bit of the shock goes away, the shock and awe of it. So I think that first round right off the gate, 10-8, 100%. But I do think you could be generous towards the 10-8s for maybe the third and the fourth. Second, not as much, definitely a 10-9 there. And then fifth round, you could say was a 10-9 because DDP had his little moment. And that's why I was asking, where was that the rest of the fight? But you could see the 10-8s, but I would say only 10-8 in the first round. But of course, he wiped them out. It was 5-0. It was 50-44.
Times 3. Yeah. So every judge scored the third round a 10-8. I scored it 50-42. I gave 3 rounds. I gave the first, second, and third, and then I saw the fourth and fifth. Kind of was, like you said, very repetitive. But the total strikes, 529 to 45.
That's a landslide.
I mean, it's insane. He controlled them for 21 and a half minutes. Yeah. Total takedowns, 12 for 17.
4 minutes pretty much each round, right? That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, just the dominance of Khamzat Chimaev.
It's incredible to watch.
Yeah.
It was awe-inspiring.
I mean, back in the day, I think during the pandemic, when he fought twice in like 10, 11 days, I'm like, they might fast track him. But then he got COVID and then he fake retired a little bit. Are you surprised it took him this long to be champion?
No, that was exactly what it was. It was all the controversy with the visa issues, right? I think now still, but there's also still question. Like, I don't know if you've seen the controversy with the Chechnya dictator, right? Like,
I saw the tie.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
I do feel like there's a little questions for Khamzat. Like, he seems like a man that might be fighting with something weighing on him. You know what I mean?
But now as champion, he needs to fight 2 times a year. He has to.
He has to. I think that they kind of got to force his hand and they got to work out all the kinks. And I think, he's going to probably not have to fight in the States for his next one. I think he's going to get a favorable matchup over his soil. So, he has to be able to go anywhere and fight. I think you're right. At least 2 times. He's got to defend that title a bunch. Otherwise, what are we doing with the division?
Exactly.
Also, we're talking about what are we going to be able to do with him after what kind of performance he put on. Like, what do you do with that guy? You got to publicly execute this guy. It's the only dude you're going to be able to handle him. Like, if he's shooting a blast double like that and DDP can't stop it, I mean, he's running to Robert Whittaker like that. It's a scary sight to behold. Want to see what's to come with the middleweight matchups, right? We pretty much got a couple that are going to make or break the number 1 contender.
After the 4th round, they showed a picture, or the TV broadcast showed a picture of RDR fucking Hernandez and Caio Bahayo, and they all looked at him like.
And the funny thing is, the one that isn't shown is probably got the best chances. Nassourdinov. He's got to beat Caio Bahayo. And so does Bahayo got to beat him. But there you go. That's how this business works.
I think we're not even crediting. What about my boy Secret Juice? Boshinia. He has the story. They were supposed to fight.
Yeah, but
why not?
Do you make that fight?
If it's a boring fight, and we'll get to Fluffy and RDR, which the fucking activity of RDR since coming here has been incredible. If it's a boring fight there and a 5-round decision in Paris, Would it really surprise you if they said, fuck it, we'll give it? There's a story for Paulo Costa.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then I think as well, we can't forget we're calling DDP shite. No, I just think he got dominated by a really dominant wrestler. What's next for DDP, right? I think that is a question mark that I can't answer. So yeah, if you have a boring fight there, maybe you get rewarded the winner of that fight. You mentioned fight DDP to see if you get the title shot.
I mean, first of all, I love him crushing beers the day after getting.
He's out of it, right? He's out of it.
Yeah, he was just. I want to get sauce, so I appreciate that aspect. We saw Sean Strickland get suspended for 4 months. I think DDP needs to relax, take a break, and go have the trilogy with Sean Strickland.
That'll be a good move for both of those guys.
For both of them. Because a win over them, a win over DDP, or a win over Sean Strickland, you're right there. Yeah. You're right there. So, it was amazing. Hamza, he did say, since he didn't really get any hits outside of that last minute or so in the fifth round, he said he wants a quick turnaround. I would pump the brakes. I don't think they're not going to put him on the same card as Tommy Aspinall in Abu Dhabi. That's just not going to happen. I know he's their biggest star, but you don't get a super card in October. Fans would love it. I'm hard pressed to believe that. I think they save him for the new Paramount deal.
Yeah. And it maybe be pushed back a little. I don't think necessarily they'll start it in the winter arc. I think you might not see Hamza till maybe March. Yeah, like something like beginning of spring.
People are like, oh, he's going to go on the White House card. I don't think so.
No.
I'm sorry.
They have to work that out. I'm hard-pressed to believe that, but there's a lot of news that I'm just not believing. Like the White House card, I still have been not against, but like just I got to see it to believe it type of deal.
I would be hard-pressed to think it doesn't happen. I think it happens 100%. They're not going to have meetings and say all this, and Trump and the press secretary.
Because they're trying to work it out. They're trying to work out the logistics.
They're just working it out. They're going to do it.
I wonder how they're going to get that thing on the lawn. They said 25,000 pounds might not be able to
so it's probably not going to be on the South Lawn. It's going to be somewhere else then. But they're going to fucking.
It's not a White House card. No.
They're going to figure it out. But performance of the night does go to Hamza Chimaev. Chief support. Wow. What a fucking spinning back elbow. Lerone Murphy.
Locked up.
It was so I'm trying to figure a word out to say, but it was very poetic to hear the broadcast say, Aaron Pico's looking sharp on the feet. 10 seconds later, see ya.
Spinning elbow.
Done.
Insane,
and I think it was harder than the Carlos Prates, which we'll get to in a second, but holy shit, Aaron Murphy is next. December him Volk.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you skip the line with that one. You do the company a favor, and then you knock out kind of like their, kind of their golden boy, the hope of a golden boy with Aaron Pico. I said it in my head. I was like, why? I've been going with dogs in the mains and co-mains, and I don't know why I didn't back Lerone Murphy there. I've been backing him. He's been making me so much money. I guess I had to fade him for him to win in that type of fashion so he can get his title shot. We could see that Volk fight. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome, and congrats to the Miracle, because that should be his nickname. I mean, he is one. He is a walking miracle. I mean, the dude's fantastic. I mean, he had aura when he came out on the weigh-ins too. And to make the weight, I mean, there's nothing but professionality coming from this guy. Lerone Murphy could be a champion. I see it in him. He's still got the undefeated record. That was amazing, that spinning elbow. And yeah, I agree. I think it was a harder impact than the Carlos Prates one. That Carlos Prates one was just surprising, unexpected buzzer beater.
Yeah. And I loved him making the post the post speech with Joe Rogan and make it about his teammate. He was so humble. He said, hey, it's not even me. I have dogs in the gym that help me every day. And I love that about him. He's a very human being, and he is the Miracle. Keep the nickname. You are. I mean, you skip the line. I don't give a fuck what happens. Mozart was supposed to get it. Them's are the breaks. You're supposed to fight. You didn't. The injury is serious. You get skipped. I don't give a fuck what happens in that Diego Lopez and John Silva fight. Lerone Murphy is next. And sneaky move on Volkanovski saying, hey, let me get pay-per-view points one more time in December. So even Dana White, the boss, said, he was like, I love that matchup. We'll try to figure it out.
I can get that done.
Get that done. And I think Pico will be fine. He did look good. He was winning the round until he landed that spinning back elbow.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what he was doing. The footwork was completely off there to just dive into that side and boom. I mean, Lauren Murphy, the nerves, you know what I'm saying? The instinctual to pull that off in that quick of a moment. He's something else, Lauren Murphy.
Do you expect the pressure that Aaron Pico did all the first round? Do you expect it to be a problem in the UFC? Because you keep doing that, you're going to find counter strikers like Lerone Murphy, who's going to put you.
Yeah. Man, it's just tough. You know, I think Aaron Pico could put on some of the most viral highlight reel knockouts, but he's also been in the receiving end of some as well. So I just think it's tough sledding. We got to see. It's a young man who's got a lot of potential, one of the legit athletes the UFC has, but they got to help him with the matchmaking. I want to see what they do. You know, it seems they're trying to do favors for the Bellator guys as much as them losing is helping the UFC's brand.
Only one that's really doing good is what? Kayla Harrison, Michael Venom Page, who we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Who else?
Pitbull struggling. He came back a little. Patchy Mix, we have no idea about. Clueless on what his position is. But.
Damn.
Well.
Yeah. By the way, I love, White saying bonus in the cage. They're out in fucking performance of the shout out that. But man, I thought it was first round, but like surprising. It nowhere with Carlos Pratt. I didn't think it was clean, but them breaks, and now he enters the top 10 in that welterweight division.
Yeah, bro. I feel bad for Jeff Neal. I do. I feel for Jeff Neal. He's only lost to really stiff competition, like really good. But I mean, the fighting nerds are on fire, bro. I mean, it's at this point we can't say that they're just plants, right? Nothing like that. These guys come in, they train, they win fights, so they're legit. And Carlos Fuentes is fun at welterweight, man. I think he's an exciting fighter. That body style, the way he approaches fights, I think he's a good fighter, man. I really do. I'm high on Carlos Fuentes. I really am. I do like the fighting nerds camp. I think all of them have a lot of potential.
Yeah, they were undefeated on the night, 3-0. And I loved him smoking in the back. And Dana White said, "Who is smoking here?
Give it a whiskey. Give it a cigarettes." Yeah.
Oh my! And he's showing like, hey, I could still party, drink, smoke, and I could still be a fucking killer. And I love that. You got to respect.
Greg Jones was at an interview. He was talking about that same thing. It's like, I mean, these party animals. It's like we're talking about Tiger Woods and his run. When he was off the deep end, he was playing the best golf ever. As soon as he buttoned up, not so good.
Not so much. Entering the top 10 in the middleweight division. Now 2-0 in the middleweight division. Michael Venom Page. I know he has some unfiddled business at 170, but it seems like he does
at
well.
185. I think at his age now, he's got to pass 170. He's got to be past 170 now, like in his mind. I think the matchups, he'll be faster at 185. He fits the body pretty well. It's not like he's gonna. He may be it's a smaller weight wise, but in terms of his, like I said, like anatomy, I think he stacks up well against most middleweights. So, yeah, I say stay there, man. He kind of toyed with Jared Cannonier. He does that when he finds a groove. MVP just
this was his best performance in the UFC.
Totally was, and a guy like Jared Cannonier, we've seen him, the ageless wonder, bro. Time and time again, comes in and just knocks out up and comers. And MVP, you can argue, is one in the UFC ranks, even though he's an established guy. Kind of like walked through Jared Cannonier, dropped him a bunch, and just played with him. So yeah, he toyed with his food. He likes doing that, and he's on when that's happening.
I just wish he kind of went for the finish a little bit, and Dana doesn't really like him, like saying, "Get up, calm down." He's
an exception. I feel like Michael Venom Page could be the exception, though.
But what do you think Dana thinks about that?
I don't think he's thinking the exception. I'm telling you my thought about Dana. I think he thinks I think he's okay with Michael Venom Page and his antics out of most fighters. I really don't think he likes it, like you said, but I feel like you knew what you were signing up for when you got MVP.
Yeah. One time for the OGs, Tim Elliott with the submission. I'm happy for Tim Elliott. It was his last fight on his contract, so we'll definitely see more of Tim Elliott. I don't want to say
with the beard, looking all scruffy, like out of it mentally.
I don't want to say Kai Asakura's fraud check, but
he's not in the UFC no more.
Did he get cut?
He did not get cut. He asked for a trade back to prison. Not a
Oh,
trade to just be, I guess, released back into.
Really, I did not hear that. We'll
Yeah,
see if
dude.
that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a possibility at one time a super fight to go to fight back in Japan, but doesn't look like it now. I mean, he's fought the champion and he fought Tim Elliott, who's
Top
been
10
there
guys,
and done that.
Right? That's the thing. Yeah, Tim Elliott's fought a lot, and he's been in this top 10 for a decade. Like, it's a dude who's tried and tested, and maybe they should have kind of realized that, like, with the guys they're getting, they should kind of, not put them right into fights at top 15. It's not working out. So let's start off the fighters small that you're signing from other promotions that may have big names. If you want to build their stardom and build their brand, I think that would be the do it. But then again, maybe not part of the UFC's business model. Like we said, them having losses against just standard UFC guys makes the product look better. The UFC's on top.
He's won 4 of his last 5, and I just think Kai Asakura needs a kind of a break right now. Regather yourself, get him a winnable fight, and get back into the win column. But he's fought dogs right now, and I picked that Kai Asakura, and he did win the first round. But man, I thought I did.
Once
not
you saw that
expect
wrestling, man,
Yeah,
wrestling is
over.
reigning true. Look at the champions right now; all have wrestling backgrounds. Wrestling has, once it get reared its ugly head, it's a dominant force in mixed martial arts.
How do you pronounce this guy's name?
Baisangar Sursurkayev.
Yeah, bad post review. He tried getting the Chanko, and they were not doing it.
Now
It
because
was
he's getting
bad.
tagged on the feet. That kid Eric Nolan, I think, is going to stick around for the UFC. Right?
He's from
Dana
Jersey,
White,
right?
Yeah, Edison. He pulled aside by Dana White. I bet you Dana was like, "Yo, thank you for stepping in." You know what I mean? Way difference in weight class. Like Eric Nolan, it seemed 2 weight classes smaller than the guy. Sursurkayev seems like he could fight at 205, but cutting to 185, weight bullying people down there. Eric Nolan piecing you up. It's not a good look for Sursurkayev. I'm not high on the guy, really, to be honest with you. I look at the relegate. I don't see the highest level of competition just yet. I think he needs to be tested to kind of back up the hype. And I think a performance like that, I think you actually lost some fans, right? A lot of people like the turnaround, the 4-day notice, but I guess they wanted to see a little bit more. People are fickle. The fans are fickle. You got to give them what they want, or you'll lose steam quickly. And I just saw with a smaller guy like Eric Nolan, you got to put him away in the first somehow. You can't get tagged and show susceptibility to be some of this like this force, this like boogeyman, if you would, better than Hamzat. I don't think so.
Another first round KO by Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. That's 2-0 for the Fighting Nerds. We'll talk about Karina Silva in a little, but what a knockout. I mean, I feel bad for GM3, but he has really improved Oleksiejczuk.
Yeah, Oleksiejczuk, he's hard to handle on the feet. If you look at most of his fights, when they stay standing, man, he comes out victorious on most of them. I think his susceptibility is the submission game. Where you thought GM3 with the most submissions in history that he would catch that, find a way to get it to the ground and get a hold of submission. But man, he's got fire in his hands. He's quick. Husar, Oleksiejczuk. I always like this Polish power dude. He's great.
Shout out Lupi Godinez. She gets another win. Yeah, by the way, just Andrade, another fight in 2 weeks. No, I'm just kidding. She's always like that though.
I was like, what in the world? She needs to get back on,
Yeah,
but it was dominant. I think one-sided, right? She kind of shut her out.
Yeah, I thought she shut her out 3-0. But yeah, she got the unanimous decision. Alexander Hernandez.
Jiu-jitsu is gay.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he had a good press conference as well. He was kind of funny too, Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah, man, we could have seen this coming. Like I was just saying that the whole time we were in the watch party, that this dude Chase Super was going to get knocked out. Like I put the pet in for Chase Super to get the submission, but I could have seen it, coming, as we saw with Oleksiejczuk. If they can't get a hold of a guy, and the dude's got more fire coming towards you, I mean, it's going to land sooner or later. I think that's what we also saw with the main event of the PFL, Fabian Edwards. I said at any moment this dude's going to catch Dalton Rust and knock him out, and that's what I said about Alexander Hernandez. On a roll. Hernandez's, Anthony Hernandez, Alex Hernandez. Come on.
I feel bad for my boy Edson Barbosa. I really thought he was going to win that, but he was favored to win going into the 3rd round. And
looked his age though, bro.
Yeah, he is.
That's
getting
the thing.
older.
He's slowing down, bro. I hate to see it.
Karine Silva, she gets the unanimous decision win.
That was crazy. That was
you saw the look on Joe Rogan,
bro. That was a robbery and a half. I get it. Man, I don't see how she won that fight.
Yeah,
I had it
well,
flip. It could have been a split. I could have seen it unanimous for Barboza.
Welcome back to the UFC, Joseph Morales. Happy for him,
Yeah.
It was good. He got the submission in the second round.
Called that to a T. We hit big plus money on him. No one in, I think, Ultimate Fighter, Dana White Contender should be that big of a favorite. And you look the level of competition that they both fought. I think Joseph Morales had fought tougher competition back in the UFC, back in other promotions. Sometimes you don't know who these guys are fighting when they're coming from, certain parts of the world. We've seen sometimes padded records. We've seen sometimes just you'll look on Tapology or Sherdog, you'll see a very cautionary tale, and they'll say that legitimacy is questioned in some of these bouts, and I think you've seen that on his record.
So overall, it was a really good night. I thought it was the fight card of the year so
100%.
far. I went 3-3 on the night, but we did hit a lot of plus money. So we get there. But overall, it was a good night. How did you do record-wise?
I got a positive night. I went 5-4, and we hit on some big plus money. So overall, it was pretty good.
Yeah, attaboy. Dana White Contender Series, all 5 got contracts.
I thought they should have gave 6 in that main event there.
What was good with that interview with that guy Josh Hokett?
I don't know. The bigot personality isn't going to stick.
That shit wasn't even cool.
No, the UFC I think is going to set him up for failure. I don't know.
Have
you seen him wrestle Bo Nickel? He looked like he didn't belong. I get it. He was an All-American, Fresno State, but there's levels, man.
There's levels. Yeah. And also, I don't know her name, and I wish I did. The ESPN who was conducting the interview, the woman, she felt extremely uncomfortable.
Oh, Heidi Androl, she's a professional.
Yeah, no, but you could tell. Like, it was just like, whoa.
She tried to kind of like sway the conversation to another thing, and he just kept hammering it home, and you could tell everyone was kind of already fatigued with the dude. I think he's going to be annoying, especially if he gets a win his first fight in the UFC. So that's why you think the UFCs may do him any favors. I say no.
How did you do record-wise for Dana Week 2?
I did good, my man. I went 4-1. I missed on the Cam Rouston. Shout out Brandon Holmes for stepping in. That was a last-minute replacement. But I'm not high on Cam Rouston. I know he's a big dude. But I just think that was favorable for him. I was just fading because I'm just not high on the guy. So, yeah, I got that wrong, but I'll take that loss. 4-1, I'm fine with. Jose Delano in that main event, though, he looks like a legit top 15 guy. Wow. That's why I said Exposito could join because how well he held up and stayed in the fight. I feel like you give a guy a chance like that. But, yeah, that was an impressive performance by him. And I think he could be in the top 15 in flyweight.
I think the moment of the weekend was the 20-year-old Moses Atama. He is the real deal. 20 years old.
Hold you.
Knocks out Dillian White in 1 minute and 59 seconds.
You said it too, though, but you were just like, man, Dillian White, as experienced as he is,
I was trying to give credit to Dillian White.
Yeah, man, I was with you on that. I was like, bro, but I just looked to Moses Atama and I'm like, if this guy doesn't get that victory within the first 3, then he should have never been considered to be one of the youngest heavyweight champions ever. I think that victory like that proves that he definitely could be.
He's the real deal. I mean, he's getting better every fight. I don't think he took a punch. He took a hit.
No, he's so much faster. He's defensively minded. His IQ. He's seen a lot in his young career, and yet he's still got all the experience in youth. I mean, this guy needs to fight a big name next. I also think the mind games that Dillian White, they don't work on the kid. People are like, oh, he's young. He was stone cold blooded. He's a killer. Absolutely, bro.
And I know His Excellency Turki Al-Shi said, oh, him versus Usyk next. Pump the brakes. I think one more and then Usyk.
That's Usyk what I mean. Still around. Give him a big name. Usyk can retire on us, but that's what I mean.
Who? AJ?
Give Atama a big name. I'm not sure. You could have this guy as the heir too. If Usyk just requires and vacates the belt, who else would you rather have to build the heavyweight division back up with a young rising star like Moses Atama?
He's Slovakian, right? Yeah, he's Slovakian.
The guy on the card, Ergovic?
No, Moses Atama. I wanted to see. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He was born in Slovakia.
Born in Slovakia? I was like, he's not Slovakian.
Yeah, he is.
Moses Atama?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
What?
Yeah.
Well, so he.
But then he moved to England when he was a kid.
But is he from British parents? Or is like his
No.
father Slovakian?
Well,
did not
he
know.
has,
You hit me with
he has a
some-
Nigerian father and a Slovakian mother.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. So there you go. And then they moved to England, and then he's
Yeah.
fighting out of England, where he would have got the better, boxing training and everything there. Of course, not anything about Eastern Europe that not some of the pendulum boxing
they
stuff
got
like
some
that. Second
killers
to none,
there.
but you could see that the traditional, boxing, like, and just the level of the fighters there, it's a little higher.
So who, gun to your head, who's next? AJ, Tyson, who?
Dubois,
I don't think it's
maybe Dubois.
because Joseph Parker has to be next.
That's what I mean. So Parker Usyk. If I'm saying as I'm
But
high
why
on
does
Itama,
Daniel Dubois get that? He just lost.
I know. Yeah. But I mean, how else are you going to get him to be one fight away? Other
AJ.
beating the guy and be for the title.
AJ, or
But
like you said,
do we
passing a
get
torch. Why don't you
AJ
get
fight
Tyson Fury? No. Passing of
won't
the
happen.
torch, Tyson Fury versus Moses Atama. But I don't think Tyson Fury.
I don't think he'll take that
risk.
fight. That's the thing. I feel like if the money's right, Dubois would take it. I feel like if the money's right, Fury will still say, no, my legacy and my name mean a little bit more.
Yeah,
So.
which is fair. But yeah, the Big Goose, I think, should get the fight next. I'm rooting for Joseph Parker. But all right, kid, anything else that I miss over the week or weekend that I didn't touch on?
No, man. We did pretty good. I think we covered pretty much everything. There was a lot going on. I think there's some fights tonight if you want. LFA 215. We're getting a lot of fighters.
Isn't Gabe Stevenson making it?
I think he's going to LFA. Yeah, I think he's going to start there.
Nice.
Mismanaging him very much.
Really?
So. I don't know. I mean, I get the man he wants to explore and do things, but I feel like as your position as manager, you think you want to get him focused and zeroed in on one thing so that he can flourish in it. Because if you have your hand in too many pots, you might not be able to get none of them, right? So, yeah, he needs to zero on one thing. It seems like now as a resort, unfortunately, that might not be as, confidence for us looking at him. If he's settling and like kind of saying like, okay, now I'll do MMA as like a last resort, it's not good. We talk about retired fighters, like 1 foot out the door. This guy doesn't seem he even wants to put his foot in the door. So we got to see.
I did see a video of him the other day. Hands looking sharp.
Hitting pads, throwing high kicks and stuff like that. I mean, the kid's an athlete.
Yeah.
And I think his wrestling will speak for itself at that heavyweight division. We've seen the level of heavyweight kind of go down. And we're hungry. We're getting guys like Josh Hokett making their way into the UFC. That's how desperate we're getting at 265.
All right, kid. Before we get to UFC Shanghai, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavored tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry early Saturday morning watching UFC Shanghai. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. I believe here at XKPicks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Joe, we got early start time. 3 a.m. prelims.
I got my alarm set.
Start at 6 a.m. We will be live. That's crazy. But yeah, that's insane. You start us off, kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up, bro. I told you today was prep work for that, so I got my sleep schedule ready to go. Sleep, I'll wake up. But kicking off 205. Light heavyweight, we have Ziad Nurgazai. He's a dog, a little bit priced at plus 125. Iran Sati Baldaev, I like him. I think he's represented Mongolia, right? Minus 130. Look at the weigh-ins. He was a little bigger. I think the Kazakhstani Nurgazai has been a little disappointing, and he looked a little timid on there in the weigh-in. So I don't know if that's just like a tactic or if it's really in his head right now, but I'm seeing more and more of these guys, the 205 weight class, the 265 weight class, they're getting a little sloppy. And if this fight doesn't end in the first, you can see this easily going to the judges. And I think Sati Baldaev is the right side. He's minus 130, very playable, but like I said, I think we see the judges in this one. So I'll take the favorite. I'll take Iran Salty Baldaev via decision at plus 250. We can get those minus 130 money line odds squeezed all the way up to plus 250 on the decision. Now, this next one is a bantamweight matchup. I've seen a lot of people, and far too much for my liking. You know how I operate. If I see the public trending in one way, I like to fade it. So a lot of people on Su Young Yu, Jiu-Jitsu, minus 115. And I get it. Resume speaks for itself. He's also on a great streak, and he's a better fighter on paper. And I think you can also maybe see the results itself. But, it's not always about the, size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. And I think Long Zhao has that. I think he is a dog. I think the price indicates that. And I think he's got a lot of heart. And I think for being the first Chinese fighter to fight in Shanghai, I think the crowd's going to back him. And I think that he can work off all that momentum. And I feel like he can edge out a close victory here. If he winds up getting a finish, I'll be shocked. But I just feel like you saw how that crowd reacted for the road to UFC. Imagine what they're going to be like for their first athlete to take center stage in an actual UFC event. So Long Zhao, I'm taking the backing of the crowd to keep him fired up and keep him in the fight. And hopefully we cash that dog price at plus 115. This next one could be very lopsided. This featherweight matchup, 145 pounds. Yiza is minus 1,000. It's because Weston Wilson, 36 years of age. I mean, he was a lot bigger in the face-offs, bigger dude, and he does have a lot of experience under his belt, but I got to count him out as well. I'm going to just officially lean with Yiza, minus 1,000, taking even some props. It's hard to which way to lean, but I just do think that he's the right side, man. It's got to be fading Weston Wilson at this point.
I was thinking Weston Wilson via submission at 15-1.
That, I mean, bro, yeah. Who does he train in? I feel like he's someone that's like very Weston Wilson.
I don't know. I just think the reason
karate. He's training down here. He's training down with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Chris Weidman.
I think he just got a bad rep losing both his fights. He lost to Juan Silva. He lost to Jordanson Bruto as well. And I think those fights have kind of aged well. And he showed in his last fight, his ground game is legit. And he could get it where it's going. And he's getting to a guy.
I think he should take it.
Yeah, and he's versing a guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he struggled on the mat in his last fight that I watched. And I just think there's a chance that, Weston Wilson can exploit that. So at 15-1, I think it's worth a little pizza bet via submission.
Yeah, bro. Like you said, and I said, nobody should be that big of a favorite. Nobody. So there you go. If you got the balls, the cojones, take that 15-1. Big money. And shout out Kyle Dawkins for taking this fight because I don't think it's going to be an easy one. Michel Pereira, he brings it. It's just what kind of Michel Pereira we're going to hit, right? He's minus 260. Dawkins stepping in is plus 230. I'm seeing a finish in this one. Like I said, it's either going to be Pereira early or Dawkins late. Brilliant IQ mind. No, but Dawkins look a little timid in the weigh-ins. Pereira does have that little intimidation factor. But I just don't doubt that Dawkins could get it done inside the distance, especially if he gets Pereira tied, which tends to happen all the time, especially if he's spamming flips or whatever he likes to do in the cage. So I just say if you get a more reserved, smart fighter in Pereira, he could easily get a finish as well. So, yeah, I'm seeing a finish in that one. Short notice fight for Dawkins, unprepared for Pereira. Yeah, I can easily see this ending inside the distance. So under 2.5 rounds on minus 110.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I just took it safe. I think he's a great parlay piece, Michel Pereira. While I like Kyle Dawkins, there's a reason he was released by the UFC in the first place. Many of his losses early in the UFC came because he was just unable to get the fight to the ground to get that's his best part of the game. While Michel Pereira has been decent at fighting off takedowns, he's good at stuffing them, with the exceptions of the Anthony fucking Hernandez fight. But on the seat, I just think this is going to be one-sided. So if he could defend those early shots, I think this should be a beatdown. I think Michel Pereira is the right side.
Everybody drowns to Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So yeah, no surprise there. Right on. We'll see. We'll see if that fight happens. That's a good one. But this lightweight matchup I see next, Rong Zhu is minus 245. Is that indicative because of how Austin Hubbard's been performing in the UFC? He's a plus 230. I'm a little hesitant on this. I am backing a lot of the hometown guys. I am going to take Rong Zhu. He does like the ground game. I do think that's Austin Hubbard's weak spot. So I did take the double chance sub or decision at -145 for Rong Zhu. But if this stays on the feet, I do think I think Austin Hubbard has the skill set. He fights smart. I think the killer instinct is what lacks in him, and I think that's why a lot of people fade him. But he could sneak and surprise a lot of us if this fight stays standing. But I think if you're Rong Zhu, you want to take this to the mat. So that's why I took him with the double chance sub or decision to squeeze it down 100 points, get it down from 245 all the way to -145. Are you excited about this next one, this 125-pound matchup? I think this might be the best fight on the card. Loner Kavanagh, -200. I mean, getting that favorite against Charles Johnson is insane to me because we know Energy to be an absolute dog in there. And are we going to make some money at +200, D-Rock? Do you have a play on this?
Oh, Loner Kavanagh is an absolute beast on the feet. Since he debuted in Dana White Contender Series, I think he's been a force. He's much faster, I think, than the average flyweight, and I think he packs more power than a lot of these flyweights. And Charles Johnson, he's always game. I love Charles Johnson. I just don't think that's going to be enough for him to overcome the skills of Kavanagh here. I do think it will get us to the judges' scorecard, so I like the fight to go the distance, but I'm going to take Loner Kavanagh to win via decision at -110.
And that's exactly what I have. Yeah, I do like Charles Johnson a lot. I think he could surprise us and maybe be a parlay killer for some people, but I think Kavanagh via decision is playable just straight up enough, and I like his skill set. I faded him that early time Dana White Contender Series, I believe, and he surprised me, and he's made a fan out of me. I think if he passed the test of Charles Johnson, this is a top 15 fighter,
Absolutely,
early in his career. Now at this 155-pound matchup, Maheshate is a +110. He's taking on Gage Young at -120. I see a very competitive matchup here. I look at their resumes, and though finishing is on the table, I think these guys are going to give each other a run for their money, and I think that neither are going to get a finish, and this is going to be a split decision either way. So I like the over 2.5 rounds, -160 that we get to the judges' scorecard. That's the main event of prelim, right?
Correct. I also like Gage Young on the money line -115.
Yeah,
I think
well-rounded.
I think Gage Young has kind of been a guy who's been, I think, kind of underrated. You know, he has two of his three losses, once on the Dana White Contender Series and once in his UFC debut. But the losses were to high-quality opponents, and even in Evan Elder on short notice. You know, I think they're aging all right. Now he brings, I think he has KO power. I think against,
he's got a wrestling background too. So
yeah, and now he's versing a guy who's lost 3 of his last 4. He was recently KO'd against Slavakos. So I think Gage Young should be able to find that button. I think he might put him out, but he should win this fight. So -115, very playable.
Yeah, very, very playable. I'm just backing the crowd a little bit. You know, I think a lot of these guys fighting in their country, I think they're going to fight with a lot of pride, and I think it's going to be hard to finish them. So, yeah, that's why it's going to be hard for me to fade the Chinese fighters in their own backyard. And then this next one, I think I'm seeing more of the same. You know, it's a 170-pound matchup. This welterweight division is going to see the likes of Kiefer Crosby. You know, the Irish fighter is a dog right now. He's +385. So I don't know. Is he going to be live in the situation taking on Taya Niraji? I don't know. Niraji looks like he can knock people out. And I think Kiefer Crosby has susceptibilities there on the feet because he likes to stand and bang. So I need to squeeze that -420 odds down on the hometown dude to get all the way down with the KO TKO, because I think Kiefer Crosby is going to oblige, and I think he's going to want to, you know, exchange shots from Niraji. And so you could see value, like possibly in like a main event, because you know it's boom or bust with Kiefer Crosby, but I'm going to side with, like I said, the guy from Shanghai. Give me Niraji via KO TKO at -110. Sumadarji, man. I got a Sumadarji sighting here at 125, -160. I'm taking him on the money line. You know this is going to bite me in the ass, D-Rock, because guess who he's fighting? One of my fellow Peruvian fighters, Kevin Borjas. So you know how that's going to wind up.
I have no play.
But now we've made it to the top 3 fights of this card. And
are you taking Sumadarji real quick? I forgot.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said I take it on the money line because I'm fading, you know, Kevin Borjas. But watch, you know, now that I faded him, watch him win. So the featured bout, I'd like these 3 matchups. I'm glad whatever happened, the co-main event happened, to still getting the fight. But something tells me that was like planned all along. But I digress. Here we go. This featured bout consists of these heavyweights, man, and it's a massive test for Waldo Acosta, Cortez Acosta, Elvis's cousin.
Yes.
Plus 225, man. I think there could be some money made there if he can maybe find his game, which is taking people down, kind of wearing them out. He throws that 100-mile-an-hour fastball towards you, and I think if it connects, it's there. Maybe we're doubting the skill set of him. He has athleticism, and he's fighting a bad division at 265. I just think he's going to run up against a wall with Sergey Pavlovich, man. I just think that you get tested time and time again until you reach that final exam, and you might not pass the bar. You know what I mean? You have all the qualification to be a lawyer, but you can't pass the bar.
Oh,
you won't be able to become a champ. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Pavlo. I'm going to go with Pavlovich. Squeeze those minus 245 odds as a money line play down by getting him the first round KO TKO at plus 275. I think if he's going to win, I think he needs to get Waldo Cortez Acosta out of there early. Otherwise, I do see the value arising later.
Yeah, I think he's another good parlay piece. I did a same game, not same game. I did a 2-legger parlay.
Yeah.
Sergey Pavlovich and Michel Pereira, both on the money line. You could get that at minus 112. I think it's a very playable for only 2 legs. And I just think Sergey Pavlovich is just a major step up in competition for Waldo Cortez Acosta. In his most recent fight, he did get, I'll say, he was gifted that against Spivak. I thought Spivak won. But Pavlovich, he carries tremendous power in those hands. He has good accuracy, and he could also take the fight to the floor if needed. So I just don't see a pathway to victory here. Send him to the minors because Sergey Pivov is going to beat his ass.
Yeah, man. It might be early, and we'll both hit there. So
crazy in this one. Next one, man.
Yeah. This is now a catchweight fight. I mean, very well be a lightweight fight. How close it is at 153.
Real quick, Joe, before you get into it,
Aljo weigh?
I think he weighed 153.
He did?
Yeah, 150.
So he just had to stop. He just stopped cutting until
and said, "Screw it, we're good." Yeah. First of all, instead of being first to report something for all these news outlets, piece of advice: you should get it right before you become first to the presser. Because I saw so many reports. He's going to the hospital. He's going to the hospital. The fight's off. The fight's on. Let's get slow your roll a little bit, and then let's get accurate information out.
Was there video of it beforehand? I haven't seen anything like that.
No, people are just saying shit to say because they want to be first to breaking the news instead of being right.
Because we've seen it before when people have approached the scale. They, sometimes they needed the curtain, or we've seen them not look so good, shaking, I don't see any of that. All I've seen is, he weighed in at 153 and he comes walking out like a dead man. Like, that's all I've seen. I didn't see him actually collapse at the scale.
Me either. I mean, when you got the scale up, it looks like you didn't make weight. That's my interpretation, but call me a pessimist.
I agree. I something's telling me. I feel like they knew this all along. I feel like they knew that Brian Ortega wasn't going to play ball with them fighting at 145 because he always announced he wanted to go to 155, and they wanted to set up Aljo at 145 so you get a guy who's trying to get out of the division there. I think this is an easy win for Aljo. I don't trust the Brian Ortega, and this would be in a perfect position for him to win. Like it's like that, like kind of like mind tricks. It's like everything's going wrong, and he weight bullies his way into a win. And what, he's gonna find up a good matchup at 155 and lightweight. I don't know, man. It stinks. It stinks to me. I don't like taking this plus money in Brian Ortega. At most occasions, maybe I might, but I like Aljo. I think he's big. I think even if it is at 153, I think he's gonna be fine. But I think he's going to be good at 145, and getting a win over Ortega, I think, sets him up in the top 5 there. So, yeah, I'm all in on Aljo. I'm even going to go as far as saying that how bad Ortega looked, a feather in the cap for Aljo submitting T-City. So I'm taking Aljo via submission at plus 340. Going to squeeze those odds minus 275 all the way down because he is the right side.
Same game parlay. We're going to take Aljo on the money line and over 4.5 rounds at minus 130. I mean, I love this fight for Aljo. I think this should be the main event. I understand why they're doing Zhang as the main event in China, but 5-round co-main event, by the way. And Ortega, I think he might have the striking advantage. So I think he should be able to defend some of Sterling's wrestling, kind of keeping it on the feet, but if he does get on his back, I think Ortega's kind of done. Yeah, I don't know if I see a finish. I think you might see old Aljo where he just dominates you. I know Ortega has really good jiu-jitsu to defend and kind of minimize the damage, but
it's the guard.
Yeah,
I think Aljo's jiu-jitsu is going to be pressure pass, and try to take the back, and if he
backpack him. Yeah,
if he secures back position and back control, like you said, I think it could be a short night. That's why I was concerned when I saw my face when you said the over 4.5. I'm like, could you see it going to the judges?
Yeah,
I think Aljo. I don't think TKO is on the table.
Finish.
I could see double chance as well, right? Him getting the submission order decision. But I went for, me, I like taking the risk, and I just see that getting a submission sets him up well at 145.
Yeah, if you do like Aljo via submission or points, it's at -260. So you're really not getting anything. That's why I like the over and the money line, playing it safe. I just feel like this fight is going to go into deep waters, and Aljo's just going to dominate.
How evenly they match up, right? On the feet, there's not much of a discrepancy in their striking, and their jiu-jitsu does match up. Even though I said that Aljo probably won't.
I think Aljo's a little better.
I just think Aljo's better. Yeah, I think that you're gonna T-City catches you in those triangles. I don't think Aljo with Sarah in his corner is gonna allow anything to get snuck up on him.
Yeah, Ray's not gonna be there. He's in Turks and Caicos, relax.
Let him enjoy it. Longo's 70. Sarah's a little on the younger side. He can
also Ray's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Let the guy enjoy some
time. 3-time Hall of Famer.
And
4-time.
And I don't think fucking Ray at his age wants to go to fucking China. But yeah, Aljo should win. I like, and like you said, it's at 153 this fight. He's gonna be in there at 160. He's gonna be
fine.
Big.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. That's the thing. Like he could fight at 155, but the fact that he made 135 and was a champ, I mean, that's impressive. Aljo,
watch out for Aljo, man. He wins this fight, he's gonna be in the top 5 of that featherweight. He's 1-2 a win away.
I think his ex-champ status. And if he, like I said, if he gets this submission, and I'm rooting for your pick too, but if he gets the submission, I think he's one fight away.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you give him one big name and he can get a title shot.
I agree. But
here we go for the main event of UFC Shanghai. It's a light heavyweight matchup, and they're trying to put Mingyang Zhang on, man. The Mountain Tiger, -315. And I mean, he has all the makings of it. Ever since he had that weird Askarov loss. Remember that fake fighter we talked about back in the day? That weird guy, he had a different name, and he did lose to that guy, but ever since that loss, he kind of locked in, and he's on a what now, like a 9-10 fight first round knockout streak. So I get the odds, and I get going all in on Zhang, and you probably want to squeeze value out of him, and the only play that I saw really was that first round knockout to get that Zhang odds down. But you know what you get with Johnny Walker? You're getting a massive dude who's boom or bust. He's either going to knock out somebody or he's going to get knocked out. And I do think Zhang is the right side, but I like taking value in my dog picks in the main events. And like I said, with this boom or bust opportunity, I will side with Johnny Walker. I'm just going to take a chance on him, plus 300. He could simply get chinned and go out. But he could easily knock out Zhang. And like I said, you're getting knocked out by a guy who has an illegitimate record. It could happen. Walker is sneaky, man. He's one of the more surprising fighters I've ever seen. So I just don't know what to say other than I'm taking a chance in the main event with Johnny Walker at plus 300. Did you have a play?
Yeah. Am I lagging?
I think it might have.
Am I lagging? It's all good. I had to play. I played it separate ways. I like the first round KO -105. I also like
for anyone.
Zhang. No, Zhang Mingyang.
It was like -750 for it to end via KO TKO. Like they think this fight's 100% ending with a knockout.
And for him to get a KO in general is -270. But excuse me, I also like same game parlay. Excuse me. Also. Excuse me. So, like how I played the co-main event or chief support, I like the same game parlay with Xingming Yang money line and the under 1.5 rounds, and you could get that at -177. But I don't know, man. The money line obviously is not appetizing, but first round knockout -105. I like that. Johnny Walker's a guy who, he blocks punches with his face for a living. He leaves it just up there. And I just can't back a guy like that. While that has worked time from time with him, Xingming Yang is a guy who it's not going to take a lot for him to put away Johnny Walker. So I expect him to dish out a big blow early on. Pause. But I just think he's gonna go crazy in that crowd right now.
Yeah.
And unload a huge bust
Electric.
all over the octagon. Yeah, first round KO.
I'm looking at it. I don't think I faded a Chinese fighter until the main event. Just looking back now, like, what am I doing here?
Come on, kid.
But that was, I think it's going to be a great card. I think the crowd's going to be into it. Y'all better be up at 3 a.m. because I know I will.
Oh, yeah, kid. I'm trying to actually put in the fight, put in the fucking bet right now. Wow.
Put the bet
So,
in.
yeah. But all right, kid. Anything else for the main card? Anything else?
I might have a little something.
Oh, a little tease. All right. Let's talk about some news. We had some fights announced over the week. Rob Font, quick turnaround. He's going to fight September 13th at Noche UFC against Raul Rojas Jr. You like this? I feel bad for Rob Font. They're just sending him to the Wolves, bro.
Raul Rosas by decision.
He lives him and Neil Magny via decision.
I just think Rob Font will be able to defend submissions. I think Raul Rosas is going to be bigger. So I just think that he would dominate the grappling exchanges. It's just if Rob Font's going to take control on the feet, which we have seen in the past. So, yeah, Rob Font definitely is going to be live. He's definitely going to be an underdog. But I would side with you.
We have a fight in Rio, UFC, Rio, October 11th. Davison Figueiredo against Montel Jackson. Very fun fight.
Yeah. Yeah, you know Montel Jackson's got power, man.
Yeah.
I think someone's going to sleep. I think someone's going to sleep in Rio right there. I think Figgy's going to be swinging, and I think Montel Jackson's going to be looking for the knockout. So that's a fun fight right there.
Very fun fight. I was surprised Montel got the fight, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, that's a surprising one.
What else do we have? We got a main event. I teased it a little earlier, but RDR will take on Anthony fucking Hernandez, UFC Vancouver main event, October 18th, 5-round middleweight main event. We also got Kevin Holland. He's going to take on Mike Malott, UFC Vancouver as well. That's a very fun card. You got Jasmine Jasudavicius on it as well.
She's one fight away.
RDR wins this. He's next. He jumps.
I think either of them. I think Fluffy, if he beats RDR, I think they could jump Imavov and Bahia, right? Because we argued, like I said before, that they could be in line for a title shot opportunity as well. Kyle Bahia did weigh in as the backup for 319.
I think that could work for his. I don't think that could work in his favor.
That's why I mentioned Imavov. I'm like, yo, you do that cut weight twice in less than a month, right?
Just for what, a paycheck?
Just for a paycheck. It's right. And the fighting words are hot. Don't get me wrong, but I think. This is what I meant about this is the sport we are. The thing about why we love sports is the least expected thing tends to happen. And we're talking about Bahia, we're talking about Fluffy Hernandez, talking about RDR. We forget about Imavov and who he's beat. Imavov is legit. He has
a
Bahia.
Very big win against Israel Adesanya.
Yes.
And knocked him out as well. I need to know about this guy. A new featherweight, Luke Riley, 11-0, has signed with the UFC. Do you know anything about this guy?
Luke Riley. That's not a Cage Warriors guy, is he?
I think it is.
I feel like I've heard of him before.
Do you know anything about him?
No, I'm going to look him up. I got Luke Rayleigh right here. Mariners. But, 11-0. Cage Warriors guy. He came off beating Tyrell Abasov. No losses in his amateur career. I mean, this dude looks legit. He likes standing and banging. No wins or losses via submission. So,
do we throw him right into a top 15 fight?
Yeah, let's ruin another prospect. No, don't
might
do
as
that.
Well. But that's all the MMA news.
I got something for you. If you had another piece of news besides MMA news,
just one boxing news.
It was going to be Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, it was Gervonta.
Bullshit. That ain't happening, bro.
No, it's gonna happen. November 15th.
I don't think it is.
MVP has come out and confirmed.
Why? Because is it an exhibition?
Yeah, it's an exhibition.
Because Gervonta Davis retired, right? Retired.
No, I don't think he retired. He's just
he came out and said he retired.
When?
Gervonta Davis came out with his team and said he is retired from boxing, and then the next thing that was announced was he's fighting Jake Paul. And I'm like, this is fake. This is bullshit. This isn't going to happen.
I didn't see that.
Wow.
He retired. Yeah.
But maybe that's the only way that he could have gotten this fight. right? Maybe contractually, if whatever.
No, I just think on Netflix they're gonna get the fucking bag. Like these two people are gonna sell. It doesn't matter. And I also think let's be honest, his last fight against Lamont Roach, he lost that fight. I don't give a fuck. I'll go to the grave thinking that, and I think he's ducking Lamont Roach. That's why he wants this Jake Paul fight, and I think
so
he's
he can make a lot
of
money.
And also, Jake Paul knows it, which is why he doesn't want it on his record. He wants to have an exhibition fight. He's gonna get a fucking bag. What do you think?
You don't think Jake Paul's good?
No, I don't.
Like 50 pounds?
I think Jake Paul's gonna get knocked out.
Knocked out?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be.
I think 2 quick body shots. Yeah, I don't think Jake Paul's ready. But 50 pounds, I would say. I say
you would say
what Davis 146.
But he'll balloon up to what? Like 160, 165-ish?
I think Gervonta Davis is a little small. If most, maybe 150. So I don't think he's like in the 160 walking around weight. Do you think?
I'm just speculating. I don't know. I know he fights at 145.
If this is going to be a fight that has to happen, then they should just both be walking around weight. And yeah, then maybe you could get Gervonta Davis around 160, but then Jake Paul's going to be around 220. No, he has to have some hydration clause or something.
It has to be.
It's something similar to like with Jeremy Stevens and Mike Perry, right? Don't they have a?
It's not. Yeah, but it's only one. Yeah, but it's only 170. He's only going up 15 pounds. Jeremy Stevens. It's not that bad.
No, but he doesn't want Mike Perry to balloon up too much. But
yeah, over 175.
Do you think they could do something like that to Jake Paul? Or he's the A side.
It's MVP is sponsoring. He's the A side.
Yeah.
It should be a big fight. It's on Netflix. It's at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, so not far from you, kid. You should go. November 15th, November 14th. It's a Friday. So
I think I'm good with Atlanta, Don. I think I'm good. I'm gonna not.
You've been there, right?
I've been there too many times. I don't want to go back. I think I'm good with Atlanta.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, kid. Before we double down on 10 seconds left, Dana White Contender Series Week 3, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. on ESPN.
Yes,
what do you got?
Yes, sir. You know it. You know I gotta get on this, and like I said, we're doing good so far. I am 5-3 so far with my Dana White selections in the first 2 weeks. So let's talk about these fights. You know, this heavyweight matchup, you got a rising kid, Dante Johnson, that is undefeated. And I think people are going to probably favor him. I think when the odds drop, he probably will be the favorite. But I don't like the length and history of his resume. I think Darian Abbey has a way longer and legitimate resume. I think if you look at the fights, he is a talented kickboxer, and I think Deontay Johnson is ready to stand and try to get a knockout, and I think that's going to be to his detriment. So I'm going to go with the 6-inch taller, of 6-inch longer reach, Darian Abbey with more kickboxing background and experience. So even though he's a little older, I think the size and the experience comes into play. So give me Darian Abbey in that heavyweight matchup. The lightweights that take place next one, I think this is probably the closest one on the card. 2 very savage dudes, Christian Perez, Mexican phenom, Manuel Souza. If you don't know him, Manu Mito, he's fought all over. I think he's even been in Bellator too. So he's legit. He is a little ball of fire. So I'm seeing 2 guys that are very closely contested at 155. This more like is going to go to the judges. So I'll take the over 2.5 rounds between the 2 of them there. But not opposed to this other one, because this light heavyweight matchup, I got 2 bona fide finishers. You know, sometimes they cancel each other out, but I just feel like either one is going to keep hunting for it no matter what. So either Ali Lorenz or Abdul Rahman Yakayev is going to get a finish, because I'm taking the under 2.5 rounds. The co-main event consists of featherweights Mauricio Barbosa and Damon Wilson. I'm going to take Barbosa, man. I think that he is a better fighter. I think he might be clear-cut having an advantage in that one, and might be the biggest discrepancy on that card. And then the middleweight main event, I'm taking a finish as opposed to the decision we got last week. I think between Trent Miller and Ryan Gandra, I think either guy can get a stoppage. So under 2.5 rounds in that main event. Look at Trent Miller, though, a little piece of caveat. I seen right here, I'm looking at it right now. This dude is scheduled 3 times in the next 4 days. He has a fight today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. I don't know what it does not make any sense. I don't know if he's actually fighting on them. But look, right now, Trent Miller, if they're still up, it will say, okay, they just figured it out. But I'm not joking. They had a bout for LFA for him against Jake Woodley, August 22nd, which is today. Yes, it would have been tonight. Then tomorrow, they scheduled a bout against Malik Abdul Mumin at Tough Enough. tomorrow, the 23rd. And then they had the schedule for Ryan Gandra on August 26th on Tuesday. So he had 3 bouts scheduled. All of them were pending, but now they just canceled the other 2 because, of course, you're taking the opportunity to make it to the UFC. And that's it for the Week 3 Dana White Contender Series.
All right, kid. Well, good luck. Like I said, that is on Tuesday night on ESPN, 8 p.m. 10 seconds left. We're doubling down on UFC China,
Shanghai. And, as much as I like your pick, bro, and I was tempted to take Zhang, I'm doubling down on Johnny Walker. Like I said, it's boomer bust for Johnny Walker. Though I took him on the money line before, I will be going with the KO TKO. Because how else could you bet Johnny Walker besides knockout or getting knocked out? So doubling down on Johnny Walker, taking it via KO TKO at plus 500. Maybe it can hit. Like I said, a little pizza bet.
Oh, man. Well, good luck, kid. Like I said, early start time this tomorrow morning, actually, 3 a.m. prelims, 6 p.m. 6 a.m., main card. Cannot wait. Goes right into week 0 tomorrow, kid. College football is back. Cannot wait. Any big plans?
Nah, man, I'm just going to be watching the fights, just gearing up. And, oh, yeah, fantasy draft. Sunday, B-dubs, and then the following Sunday, I believe, us, right? We got one?
Yes, sir. Wow, cannot wait. Yes, I have 2. I'm in 3 leagues.
Yeah,
so
I'm getting another one built. Hopefully we can get the NFL zone going.
I scaled it back a little from 5 to 3 this
That's
year.
Good.
Growth.
Yeah, manageable.
That's,
I'm up. I'm down from 1 and I'm up 1 to 3.
Oh, wow.
So we met.
Yes, exactly. Well, enjoy the fights, kid.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck on all your bets, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.